Crafty Clegg. I live in the northwest of England with my husband and our little dog Zach. You can find me on Instagram as Crafty Clegg Creations and also on Facebook and on my YouTube channel, which you're here now. Welcome. Thank you to, I've had quite an influx of new a lot of new subscribers for myself, an influx of new subscribers. So if you're new to my channel, thank you very much for subscribing and welcome back to any old subscribers, or is that the right word, old? Anyway, welcome. I've got quite a lot to tell you really, so I'll just get right in there. First of all, my holiday. Well, we had a really, really nice time. It was very, very warm. There was lots of queues. So basically, you had to queue for everything, which, I mean, you know, we all know that happens in Florida. There's that many people there. It is so busy. I thought because we was going last week in October, first week in November, I thought it'd be pretty quiet. Quite the opposite. It was so busy. So, but it was nice, and it was nice to spend time with our children and our grown-up children, and it was nice to spend time with the grandchildren. But we need a holiday now, we need a rest. I was glad to come home. Tim and I don't often go away for 2 weeks. We normally just do either very long weekends or a week, which I find is enough for us. And so the 2-week holiday was nice, but I was glad to come home. I will put some little footage in of our holiday. Obviously, I won't put too much in because, you know, I don't want to be that person that bores you with photographs and such likes of people that you don't know. So I will put a little bit of what happened there, but not too much. I had a nice time when I went down. Before we went on holiday, I went down to my daughter who lives in Bath, well, Frome, just outside Bath. It was her engagement party, which was really nice. The room that she hired was a beautiful room, and they'd had it decorated to perfection. It was lovely. And again, I'll put a little, some little photographs and such likes of what happened there. And that was nice. I've got quite a few working projects to show you, so I'll start with that now. It does seem a little bit rushed, doesn't it? But I have to briefly tell you why. This is the second time that I've recorded my vlog today. I'd got all set up, made myself a lovely coffee in my Herdy cup. Now, let me show you. Love this cup. Now I've got Vimto. I haven't got coffee, I've got Vimto. I came up an hour ago to record it. I recorded on my device, but using a different tripod. My husband's got this all singing, all dancing tripod. So I used his tripod. Went downstairs to quickly re-watch it, to try and edit it, and there was this horrendous black background noise on that we don't know where it's come from. And there's no way that you could have watched that. It would have just been unwatchable. So this is take 2. And the reason I'm trying to do it as quickly as I possibly can is because we've got plans and we need to go out, and now we're way behind. But I wanted to get this out to you today. So I will start on my current whips. Bear with me. Right. When we went on holiday, I did take a few different... Oh, sorry, the camera's wobbling. I did take a few different things with me to make. I took something to crochet and I took something to knit. But it's so warm, it's just, you can't really, and especially if you're relaxing by the pool, even if you're using cotton, it's all sticky in your hands, and it was just too much. And maybe about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, I saw a beautiful pattern of a bag, a project bag made out of hexagons. I don't do much hand sewing, and I'm not the best at it, and I don't claim to be. But I really fancied having a go at making a project bag just purely from hexagons. So before I went, I prepared a lot of different hexagons in a lot of different colours. and I started doing it while I was there, and this is what I've come up with. This is, I've sort of done, I don't know if you can look, you can notice, but I've done them in like panels. So I've done a pink panel and a turquoise and a red and a yellow. And the in-between, I've just put either light grey or a silver. And I'm going to put, so that's the main one that I've done, that I put together. And then I finished this one off. That's a little bit of tilde, and that's a little, they're just all different shapes and patterns. And so that one's going to go on there, or there it'll go. And then I've done these two. Blue, that's Woody. And then I did this one, Fozzie Bear, in orange. And I'm going to carry on doing strips like this. So till it's long enough that I can obviously turn it round and make it into a project bag. And I think I'm going to do a drawstring bag. And I really enjoyed doing that. It was quite therapeutic. So watch this space. Hopefully I'll get more. I think I've got maybe another 40 or 50 hexagons to sew together, and then hopefully I'll be able to fill in the blanks, because obviously I'll need one to go in here so they all match, and then I'll be able to make the bag up. So hopefully I'll be able to show you that. Maybe I can get that finished over Christmas. And those of you that have been watching my YouTube channel or following me on Instagram, you'll know that I am doing the sock along with Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful. I am not the best sock maker in the world, but I don't know why I've had so much trouble. The first sock I did, I managed to do basically in a week. I had no trouble with it. Sue and I went on holiday. I don't know if you remember that little clip. Sue and I went on our little crafting holiday. I sat and crafted all weekend. I did my sock, I turned my heel, I did my Kitchener stitch for my cast off on my toes, but I managed to drop a stitch. Now, we'd found this stitch, Sue and I picked it up and I put it on a pin, finished it all off, and then tried to weave the stitch in. Big mistake. I had to pull it all back. I can't tell you, within seconds it went from losing one stitch to at least a hole the size like that. Anyway, tried again, couldn't do it, tried again, couldn't do it. I was getting so frustrated. So I decided to rewind my wool, put it in a bag and leave it. And Rachel from So Ray Me had said to me, what is going on with your socks? Why don't you put a lifeline in them? So this is the advice I took of Rachel's, and I've done it. So what I've done is I had 2 needles the same size so I could do 2 socks at a time. I can't do 2 socks together on the magic loop. Well, I'm not saying I can't do it, I haven't tried it, possibly could, but I use little circular needles. So I've managed to do 2 from the cuff down, and now I'm ready to turn the heel on both of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the heel on one and then turn the heel on the other, and I'm going to do that in stages. So, but I've also put a lifeline in. So if I can do them both at the same stage, hopefully I'll get them both finished without messing up. This is hand-dyed yarn from Lay Family Yarns, and can you see slight difference in shade? This is what I absolutely love about hand-dyed yarns. It's just so out there and different. I love it. So I've actually managed to get 2 socks done to the point of turning the heel with lifelines in. Thank you so much, Rachel. I've put the lifelines in. So even if I mess up, I'm still going to be at this point, which makes me feel better. So that's something else, and I really would like to get them done for Christmas. I'd like to get them done for when Strictly finishes. It's doable. It's very easily doable, but whether I can do it or not, watch this space. So that's another one of my current work in progresses. The next one, again, this is from Rachel from So Ray Me. I was watching one of her podcasts, and she's doing, where have I put? Just bear with me, I'll have to go and find the pattern. I'll be back. And the pattern, it's called the Cozy Colour Block Shawl. There's a better picture of it. And I was watching a podcast of Rachel, from So Remy, and she was making this, and I really, really fancied having a go. So I looked in my stash because I didn't really want to buy any more yarn. I've got that much yarn, I need to start using some of the yarn that I've got. And when I actually got the pattern, it's actually done in some of the yarn that I've got. And it's done in the Sheepies XL. Sheepies Stonewash XL. And this is how far I've got. It's really nice. It's so easy to do. Again, it's what they call vanilla knitting. It literally is just all knit. Let me show you. It literally is all knit. But I haven't got, I'm just using what I've got in my stash, which is here. And it's all different kinds of colours. So I'm just gonna, I've got a lot of this gold. So I'm gonna do the first half in the gold, and then maybe I'll put some stripes in. And I think I've got 2 colours that are the same here. That's the pink that I'll finish off in. So it'll be solid stripes and solid. But this Sheepy Stonewash XL is a really nice yarn. And it's warm as well, and it uses up some of my stash. So I will leave, if I can find the link, I can't remember where I found it, I'll ask Rachel if not, and I will leave the link in the description box below for you if you want to have a go at that. Really nice, relaxing knitting, maybe good for over Christmas if you just, you know, after all the festive activities and you're shattered, might be just a good one to sit and knit and watch a nice film. You don't even have to think about it, it's just constant garter stitch, so that'll be nice. What else have I got? Oh yeah, this other thing that I've got that's a work in progress. It's by Iron Lamb, and it's called Cloud 9 Cardigan. It's that on there. You see it? And this is done in special Stylecraft Special DK, and not DK, sorry, it's an Aran weight. I'm really sorry about the lighting, it's so dark today outside and I just can't seem to get the lighting right, so I hope it's not too horrible and dark for you. Anyway, so this is the cardigan that I'm making. I'll have to just step back a little bit so you can see it. There you go. It's up to just under the bust with the rib cage. So I've got about another, I don't know, maybe 10 inches to do because I don't want it very long. And then all you have to do is pick up the stitches for round the sleeves because I want to do it a long sleeve. And then pick up stitches and do a border around the neck and the welts here. It's just an edge-to-edge cardigan. I'm not really keen on cardigans with buttons, me, because I have got quite a big bust. Buttoned cardigans that I have to fasten, they just don't do anything for me. They just don't suit me. So yeah, I quite like that. I'd really actually like to get this finished for Christmas, but whether I will or not, I don't know. I've got so much that I want to do. And then, of course, with Christmas coming, and I am doing Vlogmas this year, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, whether I'll get all these things finished, I don't know. But anyway, that's another one of my whips. Finished projects. I haven't got many finished projects, to be fair. Just because I'm terrible and I keep starting new ones. I forget to finish the old ones and keep starting new ones. But I'm not going to make a New Year's resolution of don't start anything until you finish something, because that's never going to happen. But what I would like to do is I would like to try and sort of not have as many on the go at once, because it can get a little bit overwhelming, and sometimes I feel a bit like that. If I've started too many things and I've got too many things to finish, I feel like it's all a bit too much, so I don't want to do any of them. And when I feel like that, I just start something new. Well, it's just a vicious circle, isn't it? So I need to try and not. Anyway, I'm rambling, sorry. So my first finished object is the pine cone cloth, and this is by Sandra Paul from Cherry Hearts. It's done in the Rikarumi cotton. Excuse me, and they are little tiny 25-gram balls. That's the peach, and that's the lemon, and this is the mint green, and this is the one I've done. It's a really nice pattern, dead easy to do, not long to do. It took me maybe 2 hours to do it, with a few interruptions, and maybe I had to eat my evening meal, can't remember. But it feels really nice, and I have blocked it. I have had it blocking, but I haven't washed it yet, and I haven't used it, so I will let you know how I get on with that. That'd be quite nice for 3 or 4, wouldn't it, in like a little gift pack for Christmas, with maybe some really nice scented soaps. How lovely would that be? That's an idea. And the second thing that I finished is my cowl. It's the I'll Pick a Cowl for Rhinebeck. That's what it's called. And it's by Deb Jaculo. Deb Jaculo. I have made hats out of this pattern before with the sheep on. So this is the finished cowl. This is the only llama on the old cowl, and I need to put 2 little buttons at the top for his eyes. And I've got a few ends that I need to weave in inside. But other than that, that one's finished. Quite like the colour combination there, that's quite nice. That'll be really handy for when I'm walking Zach in the winter time, because I'm not really a massive scarf maker. I do like cowls, and I'm not very good with having anything round my neck that's got any kind of wool in it. So I do tend to use a lot of acrylic when I'm making cowls, because I can't really, it makes me all red and blotchy. So that's that one finished. Right, I will have to show you quickly the hoard that I bought from America. When we used to live in America, I used to use a store called Hobby Lobby. It's very much like our Hobbycraft in this country, but if I'm honest, 10 times better. There's also another one called Joann's and a little one called Michael's, and they're all very much the same, but just some stock more things than others and better things than others. So when we was there, my husband, we hired a car when we were on holiday, so we could get around. We didn't do Disney and the parks every day, but most days we did. But the days that we didn't, we went off and did things by ourselves. And one of those days, my husband ran me around all day craft shopping. So I'll show you some of the hoard I got from, I think most of this was from Joann's. Quite a lot of fabrics. I did go a bit mad on fabrics. I could have bought even more, but obviously you're limited to your weight when you come, you know, home from abroad, aren't you? So I did have to think about the weight that I had in my bag. So I loved this one. I'm very much into bees. I love bees, and of course I'm from Manchester, so the Manchester bee. So I bought this bee fabric. Again, sorry about the light, it's not very good, is it? It has got, I don't know if you can see it, a little bit of glitter. And then this one, the black one to go with it. So I'm going to make either a project bag out of that, or for myself. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one, but I love that one. Then I'm going to make a Christmas project bag and maybe one for my shop in this. I like that one, that's a nice Christmassy one. Bit traditional, isn't it? Then I loved this one, Olaf. I love Frozen, so that's a nice one. Oh, and I loved this one. Obviously, you've got a dog, you've got to have dog fabric. That's a nice one. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse. I did see a really nice project bag when I was there, in one of the theme parks. I can't remember which theme park it was, if I'm honest. And I would have really, really liked it, but it was $200. $200 for a project bag. I mean, I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to spend that much money. So when we, oh, excuse me, I'm so, I want to say the word snotty, but does that sound right? But anyway, yeah, I'm snotty. When we went to one of the fabric shops, I saw this, and this project bag was not complicated at all, but because it was in the park, because it was Disney and it had the copyright on it, and I just thought, I'm just not doing it. But there was nothing to stop me buying fabric, Obviously, I'm not going to copy it because that's not right, but there was nothing stopping me buying fabric and making one of my own up. So anyway, I treated myself to a little bit of spot to have a go at making a Disney bag. Dr. Seuss. I love Dr. Seuss. I have had this fabric before, not this particular one. I have got a bag made out of Dr. Seuss, and I love Dr. Seuss. My husband sent away from, you could only get it from the States. Well, I think you can. I've never seen it over here anyway. My husband did send some for me from America last year, but it cost more to have it postage and packaged over here than it did for the fabric. So I used it very sparingly because it was a real expensive fabric. So I had to get some more Dr. Seuss while I was there. Our family, my daughter and my 2 granddaughters and my daughter-in-law, big fans of Harry Potter. So we had to get some Harry Potter fabric. So that's all the houses, Slytherin, Hufflepuff. And then I quite like this one. It's a Harry Potter one, but it's a character Harry Potter. So I quite like that one. This is a nice one that I bought that I might make a table runner for our dining table for the 4th of July next year. Quite liked that. More Christmas. I do like this fabric. Well, I like Christmas things that's got the red van on with the tree in the back. I love it. I really love it. There's a lady called Just Pootling, and she's a crochet designer, and she designed last year a beautiful crochet blanket with a big red truck on and a big Christmas tree in the back. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I have got the pattern. I bought the pattern, and I might half the pattern and do it in half because it's a massive blanket. But I really do like the red trucks with the Christmas trees on the back. Then I got this for the children. I might make a Christmas stocking each for them, or a sack. I don't know what I'm going to use with that, but I quite liked that one. And then last but not least, I love this. The candy canes. Love candy canes. Like them on my tree. So that was my hoard of fabrics. Now, I don't know if anybody of you, any one of you know, follow this lady. She's called Deborah, and she has an Instagram account called Candy Shop Yarns. And she dyes her own yarns, and she has the most beautiful yarns. She has the most beautiful project bags and stitch markers and project keepers. And I have had a look at her yarns a couple of times, and for as much as I love the yarn, I can't justify buying a skein of yarn that's like $30, but then it's the shipping that's the same again, and I just can't afford that kind of treat all the time. Anyway, while I was there, I did get in touch with Deborah from Candy Shop Yarns and asked her would she mind shipping out some yarn to our hotel. And she very kindly said yes. So whilst I was there, I treated myself, well, my husband did, to some yarn from her. It's from the Liquid Candy, it's called, and it's called Liquid Candy Balloon Lady. Isn't it lovely? And that's for a pair of socks. I did get 2. I got this single one and I got that. And it is simply syrup based. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Good enough to eat, but then I guess that's what she's aiming for, isn't it? It is 80% merino and 20% nylon. So I treated myself to, well, like I said, my husband did, to some of this. Might make a shawl, might do a pair of socks and a little shawl. Don't know, I haven't decided, but I absolutely love this colourway. So she very kindly sent that to my hotel. So thank you very much, Deborah. I was really pleased I managed to get some, and I also treated myself to one of her little stitch markers with candy canes in a little bottle. Is it lovely, that? So that was my little treat from Deborah at Candy Cane Yarns. I did buy some yarn, not a lot of yarn. I will show you. again, because of the weight. It's not that I could have easily spent a fortune and brought back so much more, but again, it's the weight, and you know, things, if you have to buy new cases, and then it just gets out of hand, doesn't it? So when I lived in the States, this is what I used to use all the time. It's called I Love This Yarn, and it's from Hobby Lobby. It's an acrylic yarn, but again, like I said, I can't wear anything with wool in, so it was always good for me. And I bought it in this biscuit colour because whilst I was there, I saw a couple of patterns that I quite liked that was cushions, and there was a corner to corner cushion, and they had the little red truck with the tree on the back, and I quite liked the idea of that, so I've got a skein of that to make a cushion. Whether that'll get done this year or not, don't know, but I did get a skein of that for that. I got three balls of the sugar and cream. Let me show you where the other one is. In the Christmas colours, to make either washcloths, dishcloths, anything really. Quite like the colour, and obviously coming up to that time of year, I thought that them colours would be nice. Again, I don't know if I'll get anything done with them this year. Hopefully I will. I'll get myself some new washcloths or dishcloths for the kitchen for the season. So I got those while I was there. I got myself a ball of Red Heart Scrubby, which is good for making scrubbies to either... It's quite soft actually, so you could use this as scrubbies for your face, but I think it would be harsh, you know, not harsh, that's the wrong word, but I think it would be also good for scrubbing pots and pans, so I got myself a ball of that. And then I used to use this, I Love This Cotton. Again, I got this from Hobby Lobby. I got a black, a white, a taupe, a red and white, a red and green, and a brown. Sorry, not got enough hands. And a brown. And I bought that to make a doll with. I'm going to crochet a Christmas doll. Again, I don't know if it's going to be this year, but that will be for a crocheted doll at some point. So that was my little hoard. What else have I got to tell you? Oh yeah, whilst I was there, we went to, my husband used to do a lot, well still does a lot of cooking, and when we lived in America we used to buy certain things from Walmart over there, which is known as our Asda in this country. And while I was there, we went to do a little bit of shopping, so my husband could bring little bits home that he used to use, that was, you know, he was allowed to bring home. And while we were there, I got myself some Kool-Aid. All different colours, all different flavours. Because again, I watched a YouTube video on how to dye yarn with Kool-Aid. And I did try dyeing yarn just before I went away, and I really enjoyed it, and it turned out really nice. I think I've shown it to you. So I'm going to, after Christmas I'll do this, but I'm going to get some more undyed yarn, natural yarn. And I'm going to give that a go. Right, so... Oh, and another thing. I, again, don't remember who it was that I watched on YouTube, but I watched somebody on YouTube make a rope bowl. She made a bowl out of rope that she sewed on the machine, and I really fancied having a go. So I was at work yesterday, so in my lunch hour I nipped out to our local hardware shop and I bought myself a roll of washing line, and I think this is what everybody uses. So I am going to give it a go, try and make myself a rope bowl. I think Jules from So Sweet Violet has done them as well. I'm sure I've seen something excuse me, about Jules making one. If I can find any decent links to rope bowl making, I will put it in the description box below. Right, shop update. I will be doing a small shop update. I've got some new stitch markers to go in there and a couple of new bags. I don't think it's going to be today, although I might get some of the stitch markers in there today, but I don't think it will be today. So hopefully It will either be tomorrow or Tuesday when I do have an update in my shop. There might be a few things in there that you could perhaps get last minute gifts, or, you know, just pop over and have a look. Again, I'll leave all the links in the description box below. And last but not least, I wanted to just quickly talk to you about a charity knit. Oh well, it's a charity make-along. It's a lady called Becca, who on YouTube is called Back to Blighter, and on Ravelry is Knitting Blighter. And I really would appreciate it if any of my watchers have got a spare 5 minutes or a spare evening, a spare ball of yarn, if you could please just make me a hat for the homeless. That's what it is. It's called, if you look up hashtag knitforastranger, you'll find it. And this lady, Becca from Back to Blighter, is organising it. Now, you can go and have a look on her YouTube channel or look on a Ravelry account. And I'm sure if you get in touch with her, if you knit one and want to send it directly to Becca, you can do. I am going to, I've not done it yet because I've been quite busy since I got home, and I've decided to do this to help Becca. I don't know if I've got a local charity, homeless charity in my area that I can take these hats to. I will do some inquiring, and I will put a quick film or vlog or whatever you want to call it up and let you know whether, if you send them to me and we collect them here at my house, if you private message me, I will collect them all and deliver them all if there is somewhere in my area that I can do that. If not, you can mail them directly to Becca, or you can mail them to me and I will send a collective box of hats from us all. Please, please, if you've just got one spare ball of yarn and one evening, please do make a hat. There's lots of free patterns on Ravelry. You don't have to buy patterns. It's just one ball of yarn. You can do them in 1 or 2 evenings. I started this hat last night, maybe 7:30ish, something like that. After we'd eaten dinner and we got settled for the night, I started this last night, and that's how much I got done before we went to bed. Maybe 11:15. And if you could make darker colours, apparently I was watching Becky on her YouTube channel, and they don't really want very, very bright colours. So if you could do, I mean, I've done black with little specks in. I don't think it has to be quite this dark, but, you know, I don't think they're going to have many opportunities to have them washed. Or so the darker it is, obviously, I think as well, and they don't want to stand out. I've used this. This is Stylecraft Life DK. This is what I used. And it has got a percentage of wool in it, so that will help keep them warm. It's 75% acrylic and 25% wool. Now, the lady that I work for, Angela, I did ask her if she had time, could she please maybe knit us a hat? And at the moment, she's at her busiest time. She's just come back from a show. As you all know, well, I don't know if you do, but some of you might know that the lady that I work for does television. She's on Ho Chanda, the craft show. So she's just finished doing that, and she's packing up all her sales, and she's at another show next week. So she said to me, I'm really sorry, but I haven't got the time. But she did very kindly donate this yarn. So thank you very much, Angela, for donating this yarn. Like I say, there's free patterns on Ravelry. This one that I'm doing, it's really good, and it's got, if you can see, it's got little bits of texture in it as well. Really easy to do, not a difficult pattern, and it's called Violet Waffles. And again, this is free on Ravelry. So if you could please help us out, that'd be really, really good. If you want any information, if you send me a message, I'll leave a comment down below. I will try and get back to you ASAP so we can get as many of these knitted as we can to get them out to the homeless. I mean, it's not too bad, the weather now, but I just can't imagine what it would be like to have to sit outside and freeze in the winter. It just don't bear thinking about. We don't realise, do we, how lucky we are that we've got a roof over our heads, and, you know, we've got jobs. And so, yeah, please help me out if you can. Right, so thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go now because we've got things that we need to do. And I'll see you on the 1st of December. Very much looking forward to Vlogmas. Hope you'll join me, and thank you for watching. Bye bye for now. Take care.